How's it going, everybody? I'm back. So, a lot of fun stuff's happening at my work, so I didn't get to spend as much time down here trying to take care of that stuff. So it's been about a month or so since I've been down here to make a video. A lot of cool stuff's happened. I finally get to not use this 4x36 for metal anymore. I did buy a 2x42 off Amazon. If I could recommend anything, spend the money on one of these. Don't waste your money on those. Unless you want something specific for working with wood. I don't know if you can tell, I do got some wood on that belt. That works pretty decent for basic woodworking, stuff like that, so I'll probably keep that around for handles. I can probably use this for handles as well, but I definitely want to try it out and get used to it. I did do a little bit of practice run on this stock removal style knife. I did do a tiny bit of forging on this, but didn't do a video on it. I posted it on my regular Facebook page. I do not believe it was on the EWS blacksmithing page. But I did forge a little bit on the tip, a little bit on the handle, then ground it all to shape. But it seems to work really well for that. So when I get to making knives and forging them in, the grinder will be in the videos for that. Speaking of knives and steel, I also got 3 pieces of 1095 high carbon steel. Really good, easy to heat treat. So I will be forging these into the shape that I want. The first knives I'm making are going to be for cutlery, kitchen cutlery, chef's knives, sentokus, stuff like that. So those are coming. And one of the first few knives I'm going to make is for my wife. I don't know how well you guys can see that. It is a pearl and teal handle scales. So this is coming. I also bought a bunch of brass for making bolsters for the knives. The wife didn't really like brass, so she's going to get some of that leaf spring that I've been working with, some of that old rusty leaf spring. It cleans up decent after you get past all the pitting, so it should make a really pretty knife bolster. And I do have some steel pins and brass pins and all that kind of fun stuff, so it is coming. I did post on the EWS blacksmithing page that I got some new equipment, which I might have to step over and grab one here in a second. And I did get some PPE. For those who don't know, PPE is personal protective equipment. All the stuff that keeps you safe. And I finally got a set of these. The 4x36 was ridiculously loud, and then didn't work very well. So I would use it for half hour, 45 minutes, sometimes even less, have a really bad headache, and it didn't do me very well. I've had these for a while, but I didn't have filters. I ruined the canisters on my old one, so I had to buy new canisters, and the filters I did have that came in didn't fit, so I had to get more filters. And then they didn't come with the clip that holds them on, so they are duct taped on, but it's still, it's something to keep my lungs safe. But I do hope that I can get a new set at some point, so I'm a little bit more protected. So hold on real quick. I did get a couple different things. Like I got a granite block. It's used for surface finishing. And then I got this little guy. It's a 7,000 RPM buffer. So these are really soft wheels. You put some buffing compound on that. I should be able to get mirror-like finishes with this. I could do it all by hand and get mirror finishes, but you know, who wants to hand sand forever. I'm still going to have to hand sand a lot. The belts I have for my 2x42 go up to 400. I have all the way up to 1,000 on this. And then when it comes to hand sanding, I got all the way up to 3,000 grit. And then use this for the polishing. And then I do have strop and all that stuff for doing my knife sharpening and water stones. So I have almost everything I need. Now it's just getting time to do it and make the tools that I don't have or don't need. And this, on top of the introductory to new equipment and little updates, I do plan on modifying my hammer that I use a lot. The faces of the hammers that you buy that are cheap, they tend to have this lip. Now, when you hit steel, it leaves that impression there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a rounding hammer. I'm going to round one face, and then I'm going to leave one face flat, but get rid of that lip. So when I go to flatten steel, and I want that flat face, if I hit it, it's not going to leave that little groove where I'm going to have to go back in, and it's a big mess. The biggest reason to do this, or to buy an expensive hammer or make your own, is when you leave those impressions and stuff, you gotta do more grinding, you gotta do more filing, you gotta do more finish work, you gotta do all that time-consuming stuff, and eventually I would like to sell some things, and the less time I can spend but getting the best product, the cheaper you can sell that product for. Because if you got to file for an extra hour because your hammer's, you know, dinging the steel, well, you know, do you take the loss on that hour, or do you charge somebody for that hour that could have been avoided? I really don't plan on being overpriced or super expensive, so hopefully I can modify this and then eventually make my own hammers, which is still in the plans. It is coming. And I don't think, by the way, this is the second time I've done this, because my camera did that flippy thing that I get mad about every time. But I think that's about it for that stuff. So I am going to go ahead, bring you guys over here to the grinder, and set you up and show you what I'm going to do with that hammer. Alright guys, here we are at the grinder. And I figured, since I brought you guys over here, and I can kind of see what I'm doing on camera, show you where that little radius is right here. See how there's that transition right there? My camera will focus decent. There we go. And see how that's that hard edge. That's essentially what we're trying to get rid of. So, I am going to go ahead and essentially what I'm going to do is, to make the rounding side, I'm going to start just like this and kind of lean into this belt a little bit and work it back and forth. And that should give me enough, a nice radius right here. So, I'll round, then I will attempt to do it always with the handle. It's a little bit difficult, so I'm going to do my best. I might have to do it sideways like this, and then sideways like this. And then when I go to do the flat, essentially what I'm going to have to do is move this platen back out, and I'll have to put it on the platen and then just round that edge and do it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of my PPE on. If you have your sound turned way up, I suggest turning it down a little bit, because as soon as I reach down to flip that switch on, it is going to get pretty loud. So let's go ahead and get this grinded. Here we go. Oh boy. So, hopefully that wasn't too loud for you. Now I will eventually progress up the grits. I'm not going to do a video with every single grit I go to, but now that I got it almost the way I want, I'll kind of show you guys what it looks like. So this, if I can get it, there we go. It's essentially what it looked like before. See, that whole lip is nice and gone. So now when I hit steel with this edge right here, it's not going to leave that unsightly gouge or anything like that. So, and essentially, I'm not going to do the flat, show you guys the flat side just because this grinder's loud. I know it's loud. And it's probably absolutely awful on that camera. So, but we'll go over it one more time. I'm going to put the platen on it, lean into it. So it's flat, and then just zip them edges off. So it'll be kind of like this side. I might round this side off a little bit more as I go up the grits. But that is it for the grinding part. So I'll see you guys when I'm all done with it and show you what it looks like. Alright guys, I got her done. I had to play with all my toys, so I got my little buffer out. That works pretty well. It's that rounding side. See how that little chamfered edge, that hard lip is all gone. The flat didn't turn out so well. I got some little edges there, but that's alright. I do have other hammers to modify, or I can fix this one up. A lot of people that make these tend to have like a bigger round like chamfer here. I want to progress and see what I like personally. That way when I go to forge my hammer, I'll be able to go, okay, that's exactly what I want. So I'll do this. If I modify this later, I'm not going to do another video unless you guys want to see it. But I'll let you guys know, alright, well, this was working really nice. I did a little bit more, works even better. Or, hey, I did a little bit more, it didn't work for me. I do got a question for anybody who's watching. And this can go for way in the future, too. I have this steel here for those tongs that I was talking about. It's 1/2 inch round stock, 6 feet long. And this will make the tongs I need. I would like it bigger, but I'll have to taper the reins a little bit less when I make those. But I also really, since I'm back to work, really like to get some knives done. So I don't know when I'll get to making another video, but it's going to be probably at least a week unless I get lucky. But yeah, you watch this. Like, which one should I do next? Should I do a knife so I can take it to work and try it out and see how well she does? Or should I make tongs? So making something like this might be just a tiny bit easier. I did this one with what I had. The little bit of forging I did do. So it can be done. I have the tools to do it. But I think it would be easier with this. This is what I said I was going to make next. So it's kind of a toss-up between what I said I wanted to do, what I want to do, what'll be make things easier. I don't always do things the easy way. Sometimes doing it the hard way is just the way that I live. So that's fun. But, yeah, I wanted to throw that out there to anybody who's watching. What should I do? Should I make the tongs next so I can make the knife easier, or should I go straight to making the knife? I know knife making's kind of big, so I'm not doing anything, mind-blowing. But I do know a lot of people that don't want to pay, $300-$400 for some people's knives that have been doing it for a long time. Or there are a couple really big knife makers that are $1,200 to $1,500 per knife. We'll look them up. Jason Knight is one of the really good ones. I really love his work. He's kind of the one that drives me to doing certain things, or striving to do certain things. So I'm really excited to get that far. But yeah, I throw that out to you guys. What video should I do next? Because it's a toss-up for me. If you're new to my channel, please like, subscribe. Let me know what you think of my channel. Things I can improve on. I do hope I can get to making more videos, guys, a lot faster. But I do have a lot of things going on. so it's kind of difficult. But yep, thanks for watching, seeing my new equipment, seeing me modify this hammer, hoping it works a lot better. It looks a lot better. I like having the shiny face, so we'll see how she works, and I'll keep you guys updated. I think that's about it, so thanks a lot for watching, guys. Appreciate it.